Welcome back, guys. Wow, it's bright out. It is about -6 degrees today. One of the colder days of the year here in upstate New York. And that makes it the perfect day to talk about winter kitting up your vehicle so that you've got what you need for the bitter cold weather. So we're going to start off with loading some stuff into the truck. This is the purpose of where we're going today here. But before we do that, actually, let's get this thing started. So first of all, in real cold weather, I like to let the vehicle idle for a while. Not for the sake of the vehicle per se, for the sake of me, because I don't want to be super cold when I'm driving. -4. Get our heated seat going, let some little bit of engine heat get made, and we can listen to that V8 rumble, you know? All right. First thing is first, we are going to load everything. Luckily, I don't have too much today. So, got our stuff loaded. Some things we got to bring to the oh, need to load that. That's going to be a teaser for another video. Keep in mind, this is an old beat up tank. It's just kind of a spare, so it's okay if it gets a little bit weird. So the most important things for cold weather, in my opinion, if you're gonna work out in it a little bit, get yourself some a little bit warmer work gloves. These aren't anything amazing, they're just Harbor Freight, but they're just something in a pinch if I forget my actual gloves. And then I've got these I like to wear, these leather gloves, and I'll usually just bring purpose-built gloves, but these are just like backups. These are my kind of summertime work gloves or warmer weather work gloves. And then I always bring a extra coat. And then, you know, you yourself, right, should be obviously dressed for the occasion. This vest plus the sweatshirt keeps me pretty warm. The fleece lined jeans, big socks, and long underwear. You know, that's as important as the vehicle, right? You gotta be, as the driver, you're part of the vehicle. So keep that in mind, make sure you're warm. I also like to throw some tools in the back. They're kind of just thrown back there in this truck right now because the dog crate, but they do fit under the seat, which is nice. So I got a lot of stuff back here, but what you're really looking for is whatever tools you have the skills to use, or you think somebody who stops on the side of the road may have the skills to use, to get you back on the road so that you're not stuck freezing in the middle of nowhere, you know, with your truck down, so, or car. So like, for example, this is a air pump in here, and I got my impact gun and drill, and I got a bunch of electrical stuff and a bunch of hand tools, but you don't even necessarily need all this. You know, even one bag this size could be enough to just have the things that you need, you know, to get you out of a pinch, right? And I got a whole kit of like wire. I go a little bit crazy, but even something as simple as a roll of paper towels. You know, if it's cold and you're wet, you have a way of drying yourself off. There's a random rag down here. Every little bit counts, man. I got fluids in the bed of the truck that I keep in a 5-gallon pail, so like that makes a difference too. And again, it's just things to get you out of a pinch. You know, even things like ratchet straps to hold a gas tank up or something. Super helpful stuff. I mean, a tow strap, probably one of the easiest ways to get out of a very easy to have bind, which in cold weather, there's generally snow and you're generally going to potentially need a strap. You know, even something simple as this glove box junk. You know, we've got a couple means of starting a fire. The stock, you know, cigarette lighter. We've got matches. I've actually got a lighter and stuff in here too. If you want to carry around a torch, that's even better. But just something to start a fire, because that obviously can save your life. But, you know, tools in the bed of your truck, or however you like to keep your tools, it's a good thing, because if it's something simple that you can fix and get yourself back on the road and at least get your engine running so that you're not freezing to death, probably well worth it, right? So just keep that in mind when you're doing your thing. Also, this is the time to make sure that, first of all, look at this. See how long this thing holds first gear? When an engine's cold, this cold, even though it's been idling for a while, it purposely doesn't shift into second for a long time. So some of these older trucks, you got to keep in mind, you really might want to let them idle a little bit. There's a lot of lore online about, maybe not lore, but different opinions about idling versus not idling. Every vehicle's a little different, and this thing just likes to get in this bitter cold weather a little 5-minute, idle period. That may be controversial to some, but the transmission's kind of cranky at these low temperatures. So, when you're talking about your winter, kit, your winter setup for your rig, that's a factor too to consider. Slightly off topic, but I wanted to catch that while it was going on. As far as other winter essentials, so your vehicle when it's this cold out, so like this truck, for example, the passenger side extended cab door, no matter what I do to try to adjust it, it loves to do that. So you really gotta give it a good close and try to not open it unless you've been running the heater in the cab for a while, or you'll be sitting there for a long time trying to get that stupid door to close. So I love to have console waters all summer, just in case. There's just backups. I bring a water bottle and all that kind of thing if I'm going somewhere where I need, I'm going to be drinking a lot of water and stuff. But I just like to have them as backup in case I forget or I run out or whatever. And I've got in this truck, actually in both trucks, I put them in the console right here, and they will freeze when it's this cold out. Now, I've never had one burst open, so I just kind of send it. It's probably a little risky because if it did burst open, there's electronics under there, but we're just sending it. I have done that for like 10 years. So that being said, somewhere in the vehicle, I would argue you should bring some water, some extra water. And even if it freezes, it's like worst case scenario, you can probably find a way to thaw it out if it came down to it. And yes, you can like eat snow and do that kind of deal and whatever, but what if it's bitter cold out and there's no snow? Like, we've had years where that's been a thing. So I don't know. I like to bring some water, especially in the winter time. Even if it does get frozen, I'll figure it out, but at least it's there. You've got things like engine heat and your heater in the truck and everything else. So depending on the scenario, you can force that to thaw out eventually if you have to. But so that's an essential one in my opinion. As far as like other parts of your kit, I think I wear boots and thicker clothes a lot of times in the winter anyway. But if you're the kind of person to roll to work in shorts and a t-shirt, so to speak, just because you know that you're going to be, getting out of the vehicle or, straight into a warm building, you're going to want to pack like some nice overalls or, a good coat and pants and everything else. Because if you're like going to the gym in your gym shorts and you just, I'm just going to run through the parking lot real quick. Well, if you break down on the side of the road or something, you lose that heat in the car. Well, now you're dead, right? So especially if you live out in the countryside and all that kind of stuff. So plan accordingly there. And then that sort of thing. So anyways, guys, stay safe out there. And as always, thanks for watching. God bless America, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.